Young and the Restless latest update, Phyllis truth bomb explodes. Nick declares his love for Sally, and Kyle struggles to keep the truth to himself. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. After watching these videos, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Young and the Restless 2-week spoilers promise Phyllis Summers' secret starts to leak out on the CBS Sudzer. Also, someone worries while another struggles with a major life decision in the 2 weeks of May 15 to 26, 2023 on Young and the Restless. Take a look into the next 2 weeks with the latest spoilers for the CBS soap opera. Young and the Restless 2-week spoilers. Phyllis Summers still alive. News spreads this week on Young and the Restless. The news that Phyllis Summers is alive begins to spread. For now, the only people that know Phyllis is still alive are her son, Daniel Romalotti, and her ex-husband, Jack Abbott. Plus her good friend Michael Baldwin and her son-in-law Kyle Abbott. And of course, her daughter Summer Newman. But they need to keep it a secret until Michael can get evidence to prove that Phyllis is alive and figure out what he's going to do next. Later this week on Young and the Restless, Victor Newman irritates Jack. Meanwhile, Summer keeps a brave face. Then, Lauren Fenmore takes action. So Michael may tell her that Phyllis is alive. Of course, she'll do whatever it takes to prove it so her best friend can come home. Later, Chance Chancellor finds new evidence in Phyllis' case. Also, Diane Jenkins finds out and hits the roof. Afterward, Ashley Abbott flips out on Diane. In addition, Ashley keeps Tucker McCall at arm's length. Then, Tucker attempts to make things right with Ashley's daughter Abby Newman on Young and the Restless. Young and the Restless 2-week spoilers. Sally struggles to make right choice. Also, on Young and the Restless, Sally Spectra tries to decide whether she should accept the job with Adam Newman. Indeed, her boyfriend, Nick Newman, is against her working for his brother. But if Sally decides to take the job, he will likely get on board to keep an eye on them. Elsewhere, Nick's ex, Sharon Rosales, gets a surprise gift that has to do with her past. And Young and the Restless spoilers suggest Nick will be pulled back into Sharon's orbit, and it could cause problems for him and Sally. Young and the Restless 2-week spoilers. Victor on edge about Vicky. Next week on Young and the Restless, Victor begins to worry about his daughter Victoria Newman. No doubt, he thinks Nate Hastings will be her undoing. Meanwhile, Elena Dawson tries to get some closure from her cheating ex-boyfriend, Nate. Elsewhere, Chelsea Lawson leans on Billy Abbott for support. Young and the Restless is full of surprises. Don't miss a minute to see what comes next for Phyllis Summers and her family on the CBS daytime drama. Nick declares his love for Sally, and Kyle struggles to keep the truth to himself. Adam joins Sally at Crimson Lights to discuss his offer of a job at McCall. Before he can gush about the possibilities, she stops him to say the answer is no. She declares that they can never ever work together. He assumes Nick pushed her into such a reckless decision. He's offering her the chance to create her own culture and the job of her dreams. Sally says she makes her own decisions. Adam back off. He was excited by the idea of them working together. They can have what they had at Newman Media again. She insists she wants different things now and there isn't a Newman alive who will ever sign her paychecks again. He points out she's about to be part of that family. Sally demands that he respect her decision. "What don't I respect about you?" he asks. She insists that everything has changed between them. They have boundaries and he needs to pay attention to them. She'd like him to be part of the child's life, but that's all she wants. He needs to stop saying things he shouldn't to someone who is not his. Adam apologizes for getting ahead of himself. Sally says he deserves a woman he can give his whole heart to. She's sure their daughter will change his life and make him want to be the best man he can be. She already has, he says. There's one thing Sally needs him to do. He needs to find a way to let her go. From the way that he looks and speaks to her, she can see he hasn't. It's important for him to keep his distance. She'll keep him abreast of the doctor's appointments. Maybe they can find a level of contact that works for all 4 of them. She's sure he will agree eventually and walks out. Nick runs into Elena in the GCAC dining lounge. She informs him that she's staying there now. It turns out he was right about Nate. She asks how long he knew about Nate and his sister. He can't say but does say that Nate is a jackass, and suggests they have some ice cream. They get a table and are disappointed that there is no ice cream. They drink booze instead. He offers to pay for the night. She says it's not his fault. Nate has no moral compass, and jokingly suggests he pay her hotel bill as payback for what his sister did. Nick decides it's time to give unsolicited advice. She should treat this like a root canal, just chill and do nothing. If she wants to dump her podcast or work remotely, that's cool. She never has to see Nate. Elena thinks it must be tough for him not to have that kind of luxury, given Adam's part in Sally's life. He admits his parents think he's beyond help, but he's the happiest he's been in a long time. Catching himself, Nick's sorry to say that to someone with a broken heart. Laughing, she tells him to embrace it and they toast to love. Sally goes to her suite and finds Nick waiting for her with dinner. She's startled. He announces there is something he hasn't said to her yet, and it required some embellishments. He's fallen completely in love with you. Oh, she says, putting down her purse. That's not the response he was expecting. She thinks this is wonderful but wonders why he's telling her now. He was reminded of what's important. She's the best thing that's happened to him in a long time. He thinks of her all the time and no one will keep him away from her. You're stuck with me, he says. Good, she agrees. A kiss. Nate stops by Victoria's office at Newman. She was going to ask about his flight home, but it looks like it was a crash landing. After she pours them a drink, she asks how they are. She's not talking about business and wants to know how things are with Elena. Pacing, he explains she moved out, destroyed a picture of them, and left her keys behind. He never wanted her to get hurt. Victoria didn't either. They got wrapped up in the excitement. It was more than that for him. Things with Elena are beyond repair, and he wouldn't want to fix them if he could. Since they worked together, it was easy for them to fall into a routine. Once his life as a doctor ended, his passion for that relationship fell away. Now he is a different man. He's unstoppable at Newman, and Elena couldn't be with the man he has become. It would have been impossible for him to act on his connection to Victoria if he hadn't been looking for something else. This is an adventure he never could have anticipated. He constantly wants more of her. She feels the same way and explains that the two of them working together is beneficial, but there are no strings and his future is in his own hands. Where do they want things to go? She wants more of him. He says they want the same things but need to be careful. Victoria offers to keep a respectful distance while he mourns his relationship. He points out that will only make him anticipate being with her more. She thinks that makes this more enjoyable. Nate feels like they just had a contract negotiation. The Newman likes to keep the drama in the bedroom. He gets back to work, saying he will see her around. On the way out, he bumps into Audra. At the Abbott estate, Jack and Kyle think what Daniel told them is unbelievable. Michael explains that they can't tell Diane that Phyllis framed her for murder. If she learns that, Diane will gnaw off her ankle monitor and hunt her down. They need to leave this alone until they come up with solid evidence. Daniel adds they need to stay silent until they find a way to bring his mom home safely. They all clam up when Diane arrives. She asks if there's something new she should know about the case. They claim they were brainstorming. That makes her wonder why Daniel is there. She tells him how much her heart breaks for him every day. What happened has destroyed her, and she hopes he can leave himself open to the possibility that she's innocent. You're not going to prison, he says abruptly. She wonders why he sounds so certain. When Michael claims it's because she has such a good attorney, Jack steps up and glosses that Daniel just means a judge will see she's innocent. Clearing his throat, Daniel backs this up. She's overwhelmed that he believes her. If he can believe her, then anything is possible. Diane can only imagine what this is costing him, especially now that his world is upside down. As she goes on about how proud his mother would be, Daniel has a hard time controlling himself. Michael suggests they keep his support quiet while they work things out. Jenkins is optimistic now and hoping for more. After she walks out, Jack says they can't break her heart with false promises. Daniel agrees they need to bring his mom back, but not until they can make sure she'll stay out of prison. They talk about the mystery corpses and when they can tell Christine. The four of them keep rehashing why they need to keep things silent until Phyllis is back. Jack thanks Daniel for coming to them when he didn't have to. Michael and Daniel exit. Kyle hates this situation and thinks Summer needs to know her mother is alive. He looks into her eyes and knows how she feels. She can still make memories with her mom because she's alive. They could be living their lives again. He's determined to tell Summer. His father tries to talk him out of that. They need to wait until they have proof. Jack offers to meet with Christine and talk this out. Reluctantly, Kyle agrees to do his best to avoid talking about this with his wife. Once Jack is gone, Diane returns and tries to plan the future with her son. Solemnly, he announces that there is something she needs to know. Jack goes to society to meet with Christine. She sends a text to say she's been delayed. He gets a notification on his phone reminding him of an anniversary with Phyllis. When he peers up, Victor is standing there. He laughs, saying it looks like Jack just saw a ghost. Thanks for watching these videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.